Hey IG, we are live and logged on both Facebook and Instagram, ready to get started and hop into today's topic. So if you are, let's do it. All right. Welcome to the Mom Keys to Mental Peace podcast. My name is Tari Kaya Allen Butler. I am a speaker, author, and mompreneur. My mission is to help you build healthy relationships with your children, level up your mindset, and achieve all you ever dreamed of and more. I will teach you how to level up your lifestyle and family, finances, and fitness. Join me every Tuesday at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Mom Keys to Mental Peace podcast. You will learn major keys to stop coming up short on your goals and start leveling up for the lifestyle you desire. Ready to level up? Let's do it. All right, so thank you all that are hopping on right now. We are live on both Facebook and Instagram. And so far, in the month of July, we were in a money series on just simple, basic money tips that we can learn as moms, because it's important to have that foundation of your money. Basic tips for how to save, basic tips on how to track your expenses, pay your bills, right? It starts with those foundational money tips and information in order to move to like the bigger things like investing and stocks and things of that nature. So again, it starts with those basic foundations, and then you can build your way up on the knowledge that you have for finances. So today's talk is about the B word, as I shared today, which is budgeting, budgeting. Now, it's not a curse word, but the word budgeting can definitely make you feel some type of way. It can feel like your finances are being restricted or held up or a limit put on them, right? And we look at limits and boundaries as a negative thing. But if you have been anywhere on social media, if you are a millennial, we have had an increased conversation about boundaries, right? As far as relationships with people. But sometimes we need to have boundaries for our money as well, especially if we're wanting to manage our finances and increase our finances and get out of that paycheck to paycheck rut and living lifestyle. Sometimes we have to put boundaries on our finances, and this looks like a plan, right? A plan or a budget for our money. So I don't know about you, but have you ever had a day of shopping or buying things, and you get home and pull up your online bank stuff, you log in to see, what all did I buy today? What all did I spend? And you check your account, and that number is lower than the number that you had in your head, or that number is lower than what you thought that you would see when you logged into your bank account, right? I have definitely been there, just out and about, swiping my card, feeling like, oh, it's just $27. Oh, it's just $17. Oh, it's just $7. And by the end of the day, I spent over $150 to $200 on a bunch of nonsense. So if this is you, there is no judgment. I'm sharing to show your girl is right there with you. I can definitely relate. You also might be that person who avoids even looking at your bank statement online and just avoid logging on altogether. You're just out here swiping, out here winging it, due to the fear of seeing that number, of seeing that low sinking number. Like, okay, I know I went shopping. I know I bought things I wasn't supposed to. I know I treated myself, but I'm about to be blind to this number and just go on with my life. So we are putting budgets in place today and being intentional about a budget to avoid situations like that from happening on a regular basis. All right. I just recently got serious about budgeting, as I've shared, and pretty much all it means is to have a plan for your money. That's all budgeting means. It means you're telling your money where to go. So when you get paid on payday, you have a plan, you're delegating where your money should go. You're putting numbers and limits and boundaries in place. Because if you don't, sis, you're just going to swipe that card. And then you're going to be mad at yourself later on, logging into your bank account, upset with your available balance, right? There's a difference in that available balance and what you're going around spending to what you have in your head. So I know I've shared this before, but this is really, really big when it comes to budgeting. You have to keep track of your expenses. So if this is something that is a challenge for you, or you just feel like that's taking too much, that's doing too much, then you're most likely going to be stuck in your finances, because you aren't going to know what to budget until you see the actual number. You have to know how much money is coming in and how much is going out. Those numbers are important. There's no other way around it. There's no other way to do it, because if you don't know for sure, then you're just guessing. You're just winging it out here. And so far, sis, winging it has not been working for our money. We have to be intentional and plan. So I don't have this in my notes, but just a quick tip when it comes to planning your finances for the week and stuff. Choose one day out of the week. One day out of the week, and maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour. I say no less than 30 minutes. And review your expenses. If you have bank statements, go through and look at those. If you have online banking, just pull up your transactions on that online app or whatever for your bank, and go through and look at your transactions. Go through and look at your deposits. Go through and look at your withdrawals or your expenses, and really see the numbers that for where your money is going. So I might be getting ahead of myself, but here are 3 tips for creating a budget that works for you. All right. So the first thing that you want to do is categorize your expenses. So you can't categorize your expenses if you don't know what you're spending the money on. So some categories you can have are like for food, your insurance, your car needs, your debts like credit card payments, loans, your utility bills, things like that. So you want to be sure that you have everything in a category. That way you can see the exact amount that's due, and you can create your budget for that. The next thing you want to do is to plan a limit that you will cap at, or that you won't go over. So say, for example, you've been tracking your expenses. This is something for me. I'll just give a real life example. I had been tracking my expenses all this year. I started in like February. And I saw that my family was spending like $800 on going out to eat and groceries combined. So we made a budget that, okay, we want to cut back at least $200 to $150 on our food. So this month we actually did that. We hit the goal. When I did for July, when I tracked all of our expenses and our budget for July, we were just shy over 600, like 630 for our food bill of the month. So again, it took some time. Here we are in July. Like I said, I started tracking my expenses in February, but it takes more than just tracking. Then I had to actually put the budget in place and put the limit in place and stick to the limit. And it's hard as a family and a whole group with moving. You got kids, you're trying to do things. I'm big on out to eat. I'm not against going out to eat. I'm all for convenience. The goal is to eat. It don't matter who prepare it. But I do understand that, we're a family of 5, so we easily can have a tab of 40 up each time we go, right? And that adds up over time. So I was proud of us as a unit and a family that we stuck to our budget for that month, and actually, we're able to save an extra $200 on our groceries. So again, you want to have a category for each thing, and I'm going to go in more detail about the categories too. And you want to plan your limit. So have that number that you won't go over. Hey, Cree. Hey, Lisa. Have that number that you won't go over. And I gave the example. Maybe you can have a limit that you only want to spend $350 that month on going out to eat or groceries. You can make it however you want. And the last thing for creating a budget that works is to make adjustments as needed. So if you've never created a budget before, the first time that you sit down to do it, the numbers might not be right. The math might not be mathing, and that's okay. Like I just shared, I had been tracking my expenses for a while, but it was just last month in July that I was able to create a budget and actually stick to it and see the results of it. So sometimes you may have to raise your number. If you said 350 for groceries, but you saying that you keep going over that number, okay, well, maybe you might need to raise your limit for food. Or if you see that, 350 was your budget and you were able to stay under that, significantly, then that's fine. Maybe you can lower the number, but it's not going to be the same for you every time you do it. Or it's not going to be like this immediate aha moment when you sit down to do it, right? So I don't want you to feel discouraged by that when you're looking at all these numbers, creating a budget, and you still going over, or it's still not enough. Like it's okay. It's okay. Make note of it, make the adjustment, and jump into it and try it again the next month. This all really is trial and error, y'all. It really is. So just continue to make adjustments until you find a number that works for your family. So now I'm going to get into more details about the category. And this is actually a resource that I want to create and share with you all. So if you're on my email list, be on the lookout for this. If you are not on my email list, please sign up for this. So transparent moment, I'm going through NACA, N-A-C-A, Home Loan Office for my home buying process. And when I say this group, I really, really enjoy them because they require me to fill out a budgeting form before I have a meeting with them. So each month I'm required to write out all my expenses and categories, and they give a form for it. So the reason why I say I want to create a resource is because this is their form, so I don't think I can share it with y'all from their website, but I can definitely tell you what's on it. And this has helped me so much. Like I said, I started in February, and this has really helped with budgeting and just my financial picture overall. So the first thing that you want to do, and I forgot to say this at the beginning, if you don't have a pen and paper, please go grab you one. If not, catch this replay before the video comes down. This is we're teaching, we're taking notes here today. So the first thing that you want to do is calculate your total income. All the money that's coming in your house. If you live by yourself, that's just you. If you are married or have a spouse or a partner, you want to include their income as well. When it comes to income, you're calculating your salary income, your side hustle income, your partner's income. If you receive child support, any of those things, any money coming into your house, any deposits, you want to calculate that so you have a huge umbrella number that you can see. All right, this is my total income for my home. All right, next, this is where the categories come in, where we're going to go down and break down each expense. So one of the first expenses that you can calculate is your debts. So these are any car loans, any credit card loans, student loans, or personal loans, charge-offs or collections. Any debt that you have, you want to make a list of those, the balance that's due. Make a list of the debt, and beside it, put the balance that's due. All right, y'all follow me? If y'all follow me, give me a thumbs up, a heart, or something. Like I said, today is more so of step-by-step teaching and giving y'all more details of it. So you want to calculate your debts. The next thing that you want to total up is your rent amount or your mortgage amount. That's easy peasy. You know how much your rent is. You know how much your mortgage is. That's due every month. All right. Next, you want to add up your total housing expenses. So you want to start with your utilities. This is your cell phone. If you have a house phone, I don't know who still do, but you can add that on there. Your internet service, your cable, electric, water, heat and gas, or any other utilities that you can think of, but those are the main ones. List all those out, add all those up, And that's your total number. So far, we have three categories: our utilities, our debt, and our total income. All right, moving down, you want to make a category for your food and beverages. So this is your groceries, your fast food. You can combine them together or you can do it separate. I like to do it separate because in my mind, I feel like if I buy food from the grocery store, that's like, it's the grocery store, right? Everybody needs food from the grocery store. But I feel like going out to eat or fast food, that's optional. Like, I don't have to go out to eat. But if I do, here's that expense. So I personally separate mine, but you can do it as food, period. That's up to you. And you want to total that up. The next category you want to add up is anything dealing with your car or transportation. So all your gas, your car insurance. Here where we live in Sanford, we don't have public transportation, but if that's something in your city, you want to calculate that. Any car maintenance issues like your oil changes, tires, things like that. Your car taxes, I know that comes up once a year, but that's something to, budget in for the year, for the month, if that's something coming up for you. And any other car related things, you want to add all those up and get your total number. The next category is any child care. Now, mamas, y'all tap in for this because I know child care is a beast when it comes to finances. It can drain you out quick. So for childcare, you want to make categories for daycare expenses, after school programs. If you have a babysitter that you pay, maybe your child does chores and things around the house. You can add in the allowance that you give them, and then you want to add that up. All of that is childcare. Now, the next one is education. So this is if you're in school. When I say this is detailed, y'all, it's like literally anything that you would spend your money on. This budget form is lit, and I'm going to have to recreate a version for you all and share. But for education, this is if you're in college, if you're in school, your tuition, your book purchases, your school supplies, any of those things, you're going to add that up. And it wouldn't be student loan debt because that will go in our debt category. So this is if you're in school now and certain things that you have to buy. And we can even say for this category, I know it's back to school time. So if you want to make a category for educational things, for back to school shopping, you can do that as well. The next category is clothing and appearance. There's somebody out there right now cringing, and that's all right, sis. We just want to see the numbers where we are. We're just assessing. That's it. No pressure. So for clothes and appearance, you can add up any new clothes or uniforms that you buy, include your kids, any shoes that you buy, clothing accessories like purses, hair care. When I did this, I had to laugh like, look, this is not fair to my people, because if you know, it can cost a pretty penny for us to get our hair done, especially if you're a mama with daughters. That's both of y'all. 3 of y'all, however many, that got to get y'all hair done. But yes, sis, put that number in. It's okay. We're assessing. You can add your nails. So how much is costing? I see Lisa says, sheesh. Listen, it's a lot. It's a lot to it. Your hair care, you can add in if you are big on getting your nails done, your toes done. That's a pretty penny each month. You want to add that in there, and any other type of clothing and appearance. You want to be sure that you have that in that category. Next is medical and health. So if you have to pay medical insurance, any doctor's bills, dentist bills, medical co-payments when you go to the doctor, if you have insurance but still got to pay, that's a whole nother conversation. Disability insurance or life insurance, you want to include all of that into your medical and health category. Now, one thing I like, if it's a category that you don't spend money on, then I wouldn't do it. So if you don't have any medical stuff, then, don't make that one. I know for me, education, I'm currently not in school, so that's a category that I wouldn't add to my budget. So again, you can make adjustments and work it for you. All right, now this next category is called other. So these are things like your church tithes. If you pay tithes, you want to add that up for the month. Any subscription fees, so like your music apps like Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, things like that. You want to add up all those subscriptions. I personally add up my Netflix and Hulu and stuff in this category because it is a subscription. I see it as anything that I can adjust the payment or cancel anytime I want. That's a subscription I would put there. Any charity donations that you do. I know I personally have something that I do with my business where I, sponsor a mom or sow into a mom through their business. So I add that there. Any fitness things that you do. So if you have a gym membership, if you're paying for any type of fitness or workout, you want to add that. Any sporting events. So if you like to go to sports games, it can be even like your kids' high school or middle school game, or if you go to something bigger like NBA, NFL games, whatever, add that in there. You want to add in your entertainment. So certain concerts that you go to, events, bowling, going to the club, bottles, all of that. If that's your entertainment, add that in that category. Vacations. Now, this was a category for me this year that it was high. It was high. But I will not take those memories back for anything. Hey, welcome everyone hopping on. I would not take those moments back for anything. So, I don't know. Maybe that's not good advice. Don't judge me. But any vacations that you have, you want to add that on there. If you are in like an organization or a membership, you want to add those dues. I know sometimes they have monthly dues for that. Any gifts to family, birthdays, Christmas, holidays, etc. You want to add that on. Now, once you get the total number for each category, you're going to add those totals together. So your total debt, your total utilities, your total education, your total medical expenses. The total number you get on those, you're going to add all of those together. And that is your total expenses. That is how much money total you have spent from your bank account, from your pocket for that month. All right? Who really knows that number? Who really knows the exact number down to the cent unless you sit down and do the work like this? You can have an idea of how much money you're spending, but you don't know for sure until you know for sure. So there's another step on here. Like once you get that total expense, then they have something that says your monthly available savings. So how much money you're able to save, this helps you see if you have any room to save. Y'all, this was eye-opening to me. You're going to take the total expenses and you're going to, erase that. You're going to take your total income. Remember that number we got at the beginning? Your total income, and you're going to subtract it from your total expenses, that number we got at the end. Y'all, whenever you get that number, that's saying how much money as a household you should be able to save. Now, when I did this, and this is so you don't feel discouraged, I was in the negatives. So this meant that I was overspending. This meant that I needed to increase my income as a household or cut back in some areas. And like I said, I know where I overspent as far as like vacations, food. I saw that. So again, y'all, I got to get this together for y'all, get it out to y'all. If you go back and play this, get out a pen and paper and kind of write down the categories of what you heard today so that you can try it. But when I say this is legit, thorough, and like helps you see what you need to see about your finances, like highly recommend it. It's a huge game changer. All right, let me see my Facebook comments here. I just went on Instagram. Food is where most people spend their money. Hey, Lucinda. Yes, definitely. Food is definitely where most of us spend our money. Food, entertainment. Those are my two biggest areas that my money goes. And I was able to see that after doing this activity. All right, let me see. So that is all I have for y'all today. That was very detailed and thorough. Thank y'all for joining me. Just a quick few announcements before y'all hop off. If you are new to this live, if someone shared it to you or you stumbled across it, please follow me on Instagram. I would love for you to be a part of my community and join me and interact with me on my posts. I often interact back with you. If you have not joined the Mom Keys to Mental Peace community, please do so today by clicking the link in my bio on Instagram. Facebook, I'll put the link in the comments, or I think that I can add the link onto the live. Like I said, Facebook Live has some new features I'll have to play with, but Instagram, the link is in my bio. Facebook, I'll put the link in the comments for now for you all to get it. And if you are not on my email list and you are new, you will receive 3 free money resources that will kind of help you put some things in place that we talked today. So you will get a 12-month bill planner, an expense tracker. We just talked about how important that is to track our expenses, and a savings tracker. So once you see where all your money is going and you decide that you want to start saving, these resources will help you to organize those things and get them in a clear place for you to see. Excuse me. I also have a course for you all called Don't Fumble the Bag, Money Basic Tips for Moms. And all this course is a summary of videos of me sitting here like I'm talking down, giving you information on how to handle your finances. So some things included in this course is 5 modules. There are modules with each video with personable video content where I explain in ways that you can understand, homegirl terms. I don't use big words or try to go over your head. I like to try to keep it very, very simple, straightforward, and clear. You will have a template to start your $1,000 emergency savings fund. We talk about that in this course. I will give you a resource with the list of books, YouTube videos, and influencers who have helped me along my financial journey. I definitely did not get here by myself. The way that you all are listening to me about financial tips, I was a listener to other financial gurus. I don't consider myself a guru, but these are some basic things that I've put in place for my finances, and I've started to see the results of it. So I've packaged it in a course or a digital product online for you to purchase and to be able to, use and apply to your life. Whenever you do purchase the course, you will have lifetime access to all the modules and course materials. I will update each module as I create new content with new money basic tip information. So whenever you purchase the course today, it will be no extra cost as I add things to it. So whatever low price you get it for today, that's it. You're set forever. Any new content I add will be you'll have access to. So I say this because the price for the course will go up based on the value of the content added to the course. So the more resources that I add to the course, the higher the price is going to go up. And I will, offer promos and coupon codes and things along the way, but it's better to hop on it, when you can. I also have a podcast. Like I said, these are live recordings, Mom Keys to Mental Peace podcast. If you can, please subscribe to that on any platform that you get your podcast. So far, we are on Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Google Podcast, and Radio Public. And the way to subscribe is if you go on the link in my bio, you will see subscribe to podcasts. You click there and it'll navigate you to the podcast platform of your choice. All right, so that's all I have for y'all today. Thank y'all for tuning in with me. I pray this was a blessing to you and helped you, and that you can apply it to your life, because managing money is where it's at. It's a huge game changer. All right. I hope y'all have a good night. Again, thank you all for tuning in with me. Bye.